You're like in this slugfest. It's like Ollie Frazier 4, man.
Why?
With the White House. You guys going back and forth. They did not take kindly to the fact that the president said, hey, this wasn't my idea, and you, of course, found the evidence that it was. What's going on with the White House?
Well, which the White House has conceded that it was the president's idea, the sequester. You know, you mentioned that word and people flee, and I think people's heads are about to explode about all of this. You know, what the hell is going on here? And it's very confusing, and I'm not sure the White House understands exactly what happened in all of these negotiations at the end of 2011 with the sequester and the super committee and God knows what, because they were really on the sidelines. But I think it's possible to take one example here where President Obama came out and acknowledged that we are not sending the aircraft carrier Truman to the Persian Gulf because of this budget agreement. Right. Now, Joe, I mean, this will resonate with you, I think. Can you imagine Ronald Reagan sitting there and saying, oh, by the way, I can't do this because of some budget document, or George W. Bush saying, you know, I'm not going to invade Iraq because I can't get the aircraft carriers I need, or even Bill Clinton saying, you know, I'm not going to attack Saddam Hussein's intelligence headquarters as he did when Clinton was president because of some budget document. Under the Constitution, the president is commander-in-chief and employs the force, and so we now have the president going out because of this piece of paper and this agreement. I can't do what I need to do to protect the country. That's a kind of madness that I haven't seen in a long time.
It is a madness. You also say here, you say the president's call for a balanced approach is reasonable, and I think we probably, a lot of us would agree on the president's reasonable approach. And he makes a strong case that those in the top income brackets could and should pay more. But that was not the deal he made. You talk about the president moving the goalposts. What do you mean by that?
Well, the deal in the sequester was that it was only going to be spending cuts, and they reached that deal, and in my book I go through it step by step, because the president did not want to have a second step debt ceiling deal during his re-election campaign, understandably, but he was absolutely desperate to get something. So he got his benefit, and now he wants to come back and say, wait a minute, let's put some taxes in here, which he'd agreed in the sequester not to do. Now, the White House has a point that there was always discussion about some more tax increases, but the president got a lot of tax increases a month ago, and quite frankly, I think a deal can be made here, but these people have to sit down.
Yeah.
But we have a prominent member of the journalist class who's not towing the line, and he's under attack by the government. And here you are. This is breaking. I'm making it breaking, because otherwise the lib media would completely ignore it. Drudge has it on his homepage. You can go there. Cut whatever. Go.
You're used to this kind of stuff, but share with our viewers what's going on between you and the White House.
Well, they're not happy at all, and some people kind of, you know, said, look, we don't see eye to eye on this. They never really said, though, afterwards they've said that this is factually wrong, and it was said to me in an email by a top...
What was said, yeah.
It was said very clearly, you will regret doing this.
Who sent that email to you?
Well, I'm not going to say.
Was it a senior person at the White House?
A very senior person, and just as a man, I mean, it makes me very uncomfortable to have the White House telling reporters, you're going to regret doing something that you believe in, and even though we don't look at it that way, you do look at it that way, and I think if Barack Obama knew that was part of the communications strategy, let's hope it's not a strategy, but that it's a tactic that somebody's employed, say, look, we don't go around trying to say to reporters, if you, in an honest way, present something we don't like, that, you know, you're going to regret this. Just it's Mickey Mouse.
Unbelievable. It's more than Mickey Mouse. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. If we had real coverage of what's going on in this White House, Watergate would be a joke. The threats, the payoffs, using your tax money, the access, the behind-the-scenes sleaze, cronyism. This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you see your Constitution peeled away. When the checks and balances start to disappear. When the media are in the tank. This is what happens.